I'll start.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good evening.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
if you want,
Maria, do you see me? Because I can't see myself.
Yeah, it's okay. Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Breaking Boundaries platform. This is our fifth session on how to apply to the Chevening Scholarship. And we are so delighted to have you here today to explore the opportunities the Chevening offers and to share insights, tips, and guidance that will support you in preparing a really strong application. Today, we are hosting Maya from Georgia, and she is a 2022-2023 Chevening alumnus, and she has studied at the University of Glasgow in the field of inclusive education. So in this session, we will primarily address and talk about writing your essays and the light of the new changes and updates that the Chevening has become so far with it. So good evening, Maya. Thank you so much for your time, and the mic is yours.
thank you so much. Good evening. I'm so happy to have opportunity, second time already, to being in your session and breaking boundaries. And I remember the first time was when I awarded in 2022. So thank you so much for what are you doing. It's very essential and very helpful for applicants, not only from your country, but also globally. And I'm really happy to be here today and sharing my experience. So I'll try to. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not able to switch the slide. Yeah, so I think I am right now. So, as you know, I'm Maia Rizhvadze from Georgia, and I'm Chevening alumni from 2022-2023 cohort. But since this day, like since I've got awarded, I am so happy to say that volunteeringly, I'm helping a lot of applicants globally, and I have an Instagram page called My Chevening Journey that I am sharing updates and information. And so I'm really happy to do these activities. And it's like, again, my volunteer activities since I've got a Chevening scholarship. For today, I will be focusing only about changes and Chevening 2025 application, because as you're already familiar, we are already like end of the September. So as you know, Chevening has made couple of changes, which I know it's quite scary for a lot of applicants, even for people who had applied before and who has been like in the second stages, in the interview stage. They feel so scared, and I understand that, because even for me, I have found it Chevening 5 days earlier before the deadline. So everything felt very new. Everything was like, I felt like lost. So I think I relate to your feeling, how you feel. And that's the main reason why I agreed to have this live session for today to talk about changes. And do not be scared. You can do it. You got this. And let me share all the information that I collected from Chevening. But I just wanted to say that this is not like formal meeting for me. It's more like a conversation with my friends, or for people like me that I've been in position of you in 2022. So I think, yeah, I mean, just feel free to ask me after the session any question that you have. And do not hesitate or think like this is sounds stupid or something. I'm here to really share all my knowledge that I have about Chevening. And first changes that I want to say and mention is the like general admission changes, which is connecting to the work experience. It has to be like it will counting after 2025 from your graduation. So it was before. It's also time include while you've been student and you've been working, that it was including the time. But in this year application, it's changed, and you have to be like, it's must request from Chevening right now to be graduate, like your undergraduate degree has to be finished no later than October 2023. And a lot of applicants on my pages asking me, hey, I do have a work experience, like they require work experience 2020, 2,800 hour. Am I eligible to participate this year? But I just finished the university. So unfortunately, the rules change. So you have to be at least graduated like no later than October 2023. Does not matter how long you have been working. Unfortunately, if you are graduated last year or this year, you do not have opportunity to be a Chevening applicant of the year of 2025, 2026. And what I want to mention here is also, I think, yeah, main point I've already mentioned. Yeah, about the work and the minimum eligible criteria. And also you have to be Chevening from the Chevening selected country. And you can find more information about it on their website. And in this regard, are not too many changes. Let's move on to the next one. And as you noticed, so I want to say that every year, beginning of the application process, I am registering again. I mean, not as a Maia Rizhvadze, I'm just putting their different name to just understand and see from the first hand what's written in the application, how does the application process in general look like, because I can't give you advice or anyone else if I'm not familiar with the situation of the application. So this is the main reason. And in this year, as you notice, there is also slight changes before you start to moving the essay process in the application. And it's also request you to mention when you finished your undergrad degree. So in the application process, if you started, you will already experience that if you are not mentioning October 2023, at least, you are not allowed to move on. So let's focus about the essay. And I think the application form gonna be better than last year because they have some different gaps when it's come to submitting the application, the documents. So hopefully this year it's gonna be better because I have noticed that they also changes the designs, not only the question and stuff. So as you noticed, and each application, each essay, you have 300 words instead of 500. And trust me, I do know how hard it will become. Because even for me, when I wrote 500 words, it was almost impossible for me to write what I wanted to wrote. But do not be panicked. You can do it. Instead of one example, you have to focus on the like only the instead of two example, you have to focus on one example. And I will talk about this in the later on in the presentation. But yeah, do not panic about 300 words. It's possible, absolutely. And it's like, I know we are not native speaker, but it is possible to complete everything what you want to say in this 300 words. It's for me seems more like IELTS exam in this regard, like minimizing the words, because you can't write everything if your English skills are not that high. So I think as you know, Chevening are not request you to provide the IELTS exam. And this gonna be a kind of like a checking your English level, let's say, because it is hard to write something in 300 words if you're not in a very high level of the English language. So yeah, let's just yeah, for you to, I think you already noticed, but I wanted to also emphasize that this year they have a like for direction of the field that they will be focusing on, and in the here in the red points you can notice which kind of like target topics they have, but most probably these 4 bullet point will include whole entire fields that you're gonna like study in the UK for sure, because yeah, I was checking later, because specifically they are not written education, for example, right? But in the sustainability, there are like 4SG, which is includes education, right? So you have to find which bullet point is for you, and if you are struggling to connect your field in one of those, just let me know on my Instagram or anytime in my personal account. So I'll be happy to help you to like guide you in this regard. So let's move to the essays. And first, as you know, it's a leadership, and it's not change, it's same. And what is changing in the leadership essay? We have a question, right? I did not put here the question that we got from the application. I'm more than sure that you are already familiar of that, because it's again like end of the September, and at least you need to be familiar which kind of question that Chevening includes. And yeah, here I want to mention again that you have 300 words, and you have to focusing on the question that you have before you starting writing the essay. But here I want to mention that there is not huge changes. Like the question just helping you to narrow down what Chevening are looking for. But to be honest, when I just looked and reviewed my essay yesterday before, like for preparing the presentation, I realized that like it's not big changes. The question is just like guidance for you. It's much more helpful to know what to focusing on, because in our cases we don't know what Chevening expect from us. So do not look at this as a like scary things or a red flag, let's say. Like look at that as an opportunity, and your writing process gonna be much more interesting, or let's say like informative as well. And what I wanted to say that Chevening is not a like an application process that you will like wrote your experience as a bullet point or like CV type of or resume type essay. As you know, I'm not reviewing this year like any global applicants essay. However, I have reviewed a couple of Georgian applicants essay, and from also last year experience, I want to say that like do not be very like broad when you are saying some words, especially every single time or every sentence you write, please remember that you have a word limitation, and imagine that you have opportunity to present your leadership or networking in just 300 words. So you have to be your like put only one example. Okay, I understand you want to show them that you have huge experience, but like these changes will little bit help you to be specific. And it was required from Chevening from the day one, let's say, or like at least since I know about Chevening. And before, I was always saying use a star approach. And if you notice at the end of the question about the leadership, and at the end they mention what you have learned from the experience. And you have to also add the letter L, which is learning in this regard. However, yeah, again, when I reviewed my essay, I realized that I also already mentioned a learning, because STAR approach is already like helping you to structure your essay, and it somehow include your learning process after action or in the result section. So, for instance, as a result, I have completed this, and I learned this and that. So, if you really follow the STAR approach, seriously, like you gonna be smash it very easy. Avoid the terms like I'm a leader or I have been. If you just put a sentence, I've been a project manager, it did not give any information to the reader. So imagine that you are presenting yourself in a way that no one know about your work or who you are, and start from the scratch. So I hope that this sentence will help you to make the application much more valuable and like narrow as much as you can. And yeah, again, here I just wrote that it's very important to talk about community or workplace, because what children care a lot is what kind of experience you done in your community or in your work, or like what kind of benefit you have already put for your community, because they are like really focusing on choosing the one. And like every year it's only a 2%, which is like from out of 78,000, it's very small amount. So in the essay, it's gonna be leadership or networking or any other four essays. You have to present yourself in a best way possible. So for this, hopefully this like approaches that I shared gonna be helpful. Let's move to the networking. Yeah, again, here you have 300 words, and you have to put also in the networking the learning part. So use also star plus L approach, which gonna be helpful. Yeah, I mean, in the networking, you don't have to only mention that you met someone on the cafe or in the event, and that was all. In the networking, you have to show them you have a leader skills, and your communication skill helped you to benefit your organization or your field, or like anyone, or you, for instance, right? So show them that you have skills, like focusing on the skills in the networking, because in the essays that I have read, it was only just like mentioning how X person met the professor and how it's became a very close relationship, but like make it informative in a way to show them results and skill as well. Like skills are very important when it's come to networking and leadership. Like you have to really emphasize in both essays about skills which students are looking for. So yeah, I think like I have got a question about networking 2 days ago, and I also want to say this example for you. the girl asked me on my Chevening on my Instagram account that you mentioning a national example, like it's better to focusing on networking skills or opportunities that I had in my own country. And my answer here was like I have chosen the second one. It's like more, you have to be very authentic and you have to choose the example very carefully because again you have only opportunity to choose one example, and if this person gonna choose not connecting to the field, it's gonna be a gap between and leadership, okay, and at the end where you are writing these four essays separately. However, this is a one story about you. So every single detail that you put in any essay, it's imagine that it's just like your step. You make it complete and look at in this way because it's not again exam. It's not like something that you have, it's just about your story and you have to stay authentic. This is very important. And yeah, I think that was all I wanted to mention about networking. Let's move to the third part, which is choosing your courses. And yeah, it's not changing. You need still three universities to choose. However, in the essay question, they have mentioned that you have to focusing on your first choice. So here I like the examples that I have seen or the essay I have reviewed, you guys really wanted to put all of your choices in 300 words. And unfortunately, that's not a good way to express why you want to study in the UK because of the word limit. Because before it was 500 words, that was enough word to explain all of those universities. But again, I wanted to say here example. When I reviewed yesterday my essays, I realized that whole two paragraphs, like approximately 300 words, was talking about my first choice and giving the reason like why I need these courses right now and why this is a right time and why it's important for my career stage to have this knowledge based on this course or this professor that I know, or the like I reviewed university very well, and I think this is the big advice that I can give you when it's come to courses or the universities. You have to really know every single opportunities in your field, in your universities. You have to know the professors, you have to know the courses that you're gonna learn, because you can't write best essay in when it's come to the why you want to study in the UK if you do not know information about the universities. And if you skip this stage, it's imagine this is your homework when you finish your leadership and the networking essay. Your homework is to know like why you really going to study in the UK, or like it's not only about studying abroad. You have to show in this particular essay that you have done your homework, you made your research, you know like why it's important for your career to study right now these particular courses. And if you reviewed very well the question, you might notice that this year application process, it's a connecting to that this question are connecting to your career. So I mean, seriously, do not choose three universities for explaining. One is enough. It's not even enough for just explaining one, seriously. And do not waste your word for just putting extra information. Follow the questions, it's very important. And yeah, again, I have written example essays on my Chevening account, and you can go and anytime you're gonna be free, check this information because maybe sometimes like presentation like this do not giving you the whole information or imagination. And once you see the example of the essay, gonna be much useful for you. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be informative for you. Yeah, let's move to the career plan. And in the career plan, yeah, I mean, nothing huge been changed. Let's say if we don't mention the word limit, any other stuff was quite similar for me because in the career plan you have to split your essay in short term, medium term, long term goals, and you have to start counting this after the graduation, and you have to mention like what you will do after you gain new information, new teaching style, new knowledge in your field. And after you have to focusing about the medium term, like what's your career plan, why you really want to study in the UK. And in this part, what's very crucial that show them the like you can't achieve those goals in the midterm, short term, and the long term career plan if you don't have UK education. So mostly, I mean, biggest mistakes that I have noticed in the application is that like people do not really write in the application why they really, really want to study in the UK because sometimes it feels like you want to enjoy your time in the UK, which is also valid. I mean, no one's saying that it's wrong, but you have to be in this regard, you have to be academic a little bit when it's come to career plan because this is the last essay. You are already very tired, exhausted. You have read your essay, I'm more than sure, a couple of times. I know people are like really starting preparation since they got rejected after like the interview stage. So I know how hard it is, but like it's also okay to take breaks sometimes, like make your friend read it if she or he understand what you want to say. So yeah, I mean, I think that was all I wanted to say about the essay, and I am more than happy to receive any question you have, guys. I hope that I did not complete, I know, your puzzle, but at least I built one more like whole vision picture in your head, how you have to do it. And yeah, again, if you have question right now, I'm ready to answer. And yeah, feel free.
Maya, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the information. Thank you so much for explaining a lot of points. But one of the participants asking about elaborating a little bit more about one of the points regarding the networking essay. And that point is, what did you contribute to this relationship and what did you gain? So they want you to explain a little bit more about this point in the networking
Yeah,
skill.
sure. Yeah, yeah, sure. Thank you for the question. Yeah, it's very important actually. What they mean when it's come to this this point is again, if you use a star approach in the task point, you will explain what kind of contribution you have put in the networking or leadership does not matter. In the task. So for instance, you explaining the situation. Okay, I'll tell you about the education and I will try to make it as an example because I think it's much easier. So if I'm saying that I have organized a networking event for inclusive education in the South Caucasus, and I have taken a leadership of having like organizing this particular event. I have made sure that I sent all the email. I was like first I have to explain the situation and I emphasize what was my skill. So for instance, made sure that all email was delivered, participant felt included, they have information about it, etc. So you have to emphasize skills, and then I will talk like, okay, when the event happened, my main goal was to having engaging to the people in the field of education because I wanted to later on after the event, like having some podcasts, for instance, in the region, and there have been particular person who is expert in UN or UNICEF that they are working in a field of education, and I really wanted to like have a contact with this person. And when this person arrived, sorry, I'm like making like a story, but I will try to like reach to the point. And I'll say like, okay, when I met, I introduced myself. I said that I've been one who invited, and I suggest this person to have a like informal talk with me to agree about the podcast. And I will put here like, okay, I use all my networking skills. Like this is my contribution. Look, I put all my effort or communication skill to convince this person why this podcast is important for the region or for the education system or field, and what kind of um, like positive impact we can make it together. And she agreed or he agreed. So this is my contribution. And after, as a result, I could say that in the event or in the podcast that I have recorded with this particular person has reached to 2,000 people, got impacted, and it's already like a last point. Or you can also add what was this person's contribution, like this person came to your event, or like what kind of effort this particular person has put in the process, like how does this networking work to make positive impact as a result. If there is a follow-up question, I'll be happy to answer. I think, yeah, I mean, I tried my best to make it like more clear.
Okay, so one of the applicants is asking, is it true that Chevening no longer expects TESOL applicants?
No, that's not correct. No, absolutely. They have not changed any direction. As I mentioned, like it's not specifically saying education or like TESOL and etc. It's like you have to find yourself in the bullet that I had on the application. Let me go back. So it's part of the education. So no, it's not correct anyway. Yeah, I mean you have to find your field in the bullet point that they mentioned. So teaching, I do not know right now which one it's go well, but again, like they do not particularly saying that we do not take participants from this and this field. Like that's wrong information.
Uh, I also want to mention that as a question, a lot of answers you may find on Chevening website.
Yeah, true.
Just go to the website. You're going to find a lot of information, and this is going to be your number one reference.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
right now we are going to take questions from the participants. So anyone who has a question, please feel free to raise your hand.
Alumni from 2022, so maybe like I'm not working in Chevening. I'm not like reviewing Chevening website 24/7, like if there is some changes that there are maybe some changes or blogs or new information that I do not have just because like I'm not having this much time for doing it, the information.
Use the STAR approach through all the essays. And I think this is pretty much clear.
Not with all of them, but with leadership and networking, because you can't use STAR approach when it's come to why you want to study in the UK or the career plan, because it does not make sense. It's only suitable for leadership and for networking.
Okay, another question. Should we talk about whole networking I made?
So it has to be story. And if you use a STAR approach, it's gonna be a story, like whole story about your networking. And you have to choose a particular one example, like what kind of contribution you put in this particular one example, or which kind of like effort you put, or which skills you used to make it happen.
If you are, regarding this question, if you are going to mention your entire network, right here, you are literally doing nothing but just elaborating about something, but you're telling us about your networking and your network, but you're not showing us your skills.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
another question, does the Chevening scholarship depend on the applicant's GPA? And again, the answer is obvious. They don't care about your GPA.
Yeah, they do not. Absolutely. Well, yeah,
this is something related to the
what
UK
is also
university.
important when it's come to GPA is that like maybe if it's very low, you're gonna have a problem at the university. So when you're applying in the application, but if you have a good work experience, they do not care about GPA at the university as well.
So Gulan Muhammad has a question. Gulan, please go ahead and ask.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I hope you are doing well, and thank you so much for giving us that opportunity to ask our questions. I have some questions. My first question is related to the course choice and global challenge essay. If you look at the question, in the first question, it says, what is the specific priority area you wish to address? In that question, my plan and the course that I chose, it's really aligned with the first and the fourth priority. Is that okay for me to mention both of them? But in the essay, it says one of them. Relate your answer to one of the UK priority areas. But my course and my career plans will focus on two priorities.
So I'm not very sure about your question, but I will just give you my thought, what I have in my mind. I have not read any like direct rule that you can't mention two of them. Like there is not such a stuff, as I'm familiar of that. However, in the 300 essay word limitation, you can't explain why it's connecting your first, like in these two of them. But if you can, for sure, that's a brilliant. Why not? I mean, if you are sure that what you've written and the mentioning second and fourth direction will make your application stronger, I do not see any harm with it, because they do not say like, at least you have to mention one. This is my understanding of that, because I have read
Well,
like mentioning at least one, or like minimum has to be connecting to one of the priorities that I have chosen.
yeah, the question said one of them, but because my field is education, as you know, that in education we can do a lot of
Yeah.
things, and education is the key to open many doors. And according to my experience on these things that I know, I think both of them will be aligned with my plans. And also, I have another question, which is related to the career plan. Uh, the first question in the career plan essay, it says, what impact do you intend to make in your home country and region? In that question, is there any structure for me? For example, is that okay if I mention it in the introduction or in the body paragraph or anywhere? And also,
In the
I
body
in that
paragraph, I
time, I
think.
have to talk about the problem that I want to solve by these plans first, and then
Yeah.
mention it in the body paragraph.
Yeah, I mean, so in my essay, it was not like that. However, I started with mentioning of in the body paragraph. I like first I did not have an intro in my career plan. I started with body paragraph to explaining how I will solve the education, inclusive education gap in Georgia, because it was
Mhm.
connecting why I was choosing these particular courses, and it was connecting to what I wanted to do in short term or midterm or in the long term. Because how I presented myself in the career plan and why I wanted to study in the UK, I showed them that without this knowledge, what I want, I can't achieve. So I focusing of like in the body paragraph, I started with like focusing of the problems, which gap we have in Georgia, and why it's essential for me as a leader or education leader to go and study this, to make sure that all of my plans that I have will solve this gap.
Mhm. I got
Does
it
it make
very well.
sense?
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much.
You're
Gulan,
welcome. And please
I
like
just want to,
text me, because I text me on my Instagram, because I will go and check uh like which particular or specific like point will align education more. I will review this part much more, and I can give you much more clear answer with you when it's come to the focusing about which priority you have to choose.
Thank you so much for your time. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I just want to add something regarding Gulan's question. She was talking about linking her ideas and her, I don't know if you hear me, Maya, if you are there.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
hear you, but I can't see you
Yeah.
anymore.
Okay, so regarding her choice to the courses and the universities, she was talking about aligning her priority. So her specialty is education. My specialty is journalism. And yes, these two fields are so connected to a lot of her priorities. But just because you have only 300 words, you cannot elaborate and like keep explaining and talking and addressing a lot of issues, a lot of the priorities, because we know education, journalism, and a lot of other fields are connected to almost every single priority the UK cares about. I myself found a lot of courses related to almost every single priority to the UK in my country and to the global change. Okay, so I advise you, and I highly recommend it, that you should focus on only one priority, and you should know exactly how to relate this to your, like former work experience and to your career plan in the future.
Yeah, I absolutely agree that, yeah, I mean that was my point when I was saying that it's impossible to explain two of them in the
Exactly,
300 words.
300 words. So another one who has a question, maybe Abdullah. Abdullah Ali, if he's available. Please raise your hand if anyone has a question. Another question from the chat: what are the exact essay questions? I couldn't find them on the website unless I opened the portal, which I haven't yet. So first of all, I just recommend that you start making your account. Okay, and go to the Chevening website, to the eligibility criteria sector, and a lot of links that will give you a lot of information about the new changes. So
Sorry,
another
I think
question.
I lost the connection. Do you hear me?
I hear
Yeah,
you well. I hear you
okay,
well.
right now
But
I
you're
did.
very well.
But somehow, yeah, I'm trying to connecting with my phone as well. So let me join.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, I'm here.
Here?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So another question, could you please tell us about the age requirement? I am over 30. I know there is no age limit. Yes, you are right. There isn't any age limit. I'm over 32.
Sorry, I think, yeah, I left, right? Sorry, that was some mess. I'm here, and if you don't mind, can you please repeat? Because I have overheard your voice.
Okay. It's okay. It was just a question and I already answered it. If you choose two programs, slightly different, but both lead to the same career plan, would that weaken my Chevening application?
I do not get the question, to be honest.
Okay, so someone is asking if he or she is going to choose two programs, two courses,
Okay.
but they are a little bit different from each other.
Mm-hmm.
But they both lead to the same career plan. Would that weaken the Chevening application?
Well, if you want me to be honest, I can say that I only recommend a courses which is like 3 courses, which is absolutely different, but in one university, but same field, same courses, but in 3 different universities. This is what you can see or like read on the Chevening application. I'm not experiencing to choosing 2 different courses only. I really followed the Chevening rules, so I can't say it will gonna work or not. But based on the information that Chevening giving us on the website, it's not secure if you're going to choose 2 different fields but different universities. Does not matter how it will connecting to the career plan. Main topic has to be similar. Like it has to be same field and like same courses, but in 3 different universities, or again absolutely different courses but in one universities. So it does not seem safe for me if you are going to choose 2 different courses in 2 different universities. But if it's in same universities and 2 different courses, yeah, I mean, that's fine.
Okay, another applicant who wants to ask a question. I think Rima, if you hear us. Rima English, I guess.
Yeah, I do not see the hands, raise the hands.
Okay, so another question from the chat. Please let us know how we can check the UK priority area. I went through the website and I am a dentist. I just wanted to check things. So obviously you haven't checked enough because you need to go to the Chevening website and you will know exactly the UK priority. You can Google it, you can ask ChatGPT. And, obviously a lot of aspects and priority with the new changes, the global challenges, you will know exactly what is wanted from you.
I agree.
So I think, no, another applicant, I studied veterinary medicine, but after graduation, I worked as a medical representative and gradually advanced to become a supervisor for the companies. Will it be a problem to apply for master's in marketing since my original field of study is different? And
No,
that we get a lot of question, and yeah, the answer is familiar.
yes. So I will share here my stories. My bachelor and first master has been in marketing field, but I have studied in the UK inclusive education. But I have a work experience in the field, and which was a minimum 2 year experience of the field. And it was very like right before I applied, I have read on the Chevening application process, and I also asked the alumni if it was appropriate. And I also felt scared, it was not very suitable. But you are safe as much as your work experience are in the field that you want to study in the UK. That's fine. But if, for instance, I had work experience and if I had experience in marketing and my study was in marketing, and my second work experience was in inclusive education, and imagine if I applied for being a photographer or like wanted to be like astronaut, it does not make sense. You have to at least had a work experience or some proof that you want going to change your mind after you coming back to the UK. So you have to show them the stability and the desire that you already have some experience. You need you have a theoretical gap, and you need theory to study in the UK. I hope that this makes sense.
The same for applying to the universities. You may choose a course that is way too different from your education history, but you need to convince them why you want to change your specialty. Okay, so AB has a question. AB, go ahead, please.
Hello, I hope you're doing well. My question
Hi.
is related to application form. I know it's not mandatory like to have a course offer or university offer during application submission, but let's say if we have offer, does it make impact on your application or not? Thanks.
Yeah. Quite often I've got this question, but no, unfortunately. I mean, first of all, it's good you have offer, and that's a good step for you. And it is for your security and for your mental health very important to be more confident. However, it's not make any positive or negative impact for the Chevening application, because for the first stage they are only focusing of the essays and the basic eligible criterias, and after the interview stage they will going to ask you if you have already offer or not. And even if you have offer from the university on the interview stage, it does not mean anything. Trust me, it's all about your answer, how you show them your leadership networking skills, how you like convince them that you really need these courses, and what is, if it's your career plan, very much clear for them. So I mean, congratulations, this is already achievement and it's a good stuff for you, but it's not make any positive or negative impact for your application process.
Another thing I
Okay,
want,
thanks, Nazlı.
AB, if you hear me, another thing I want to add. I don't know if you have the application account yet, because if you have the application account, if you go to the form, you are not required at this stage to upload any document, including your transcript, your passport, your conditional offers, or maybe unconditional offers, meaning they don't care at this point. even your references. Okay?
I know about that part. I know it's not mandatory to upload
Yeah.
offer or that you mentioned, but my question thanks for this already answered about that. But my question was it have impact or not? But as
No,
I
no. A lot of applicants went to the interview and they didn't have any offer.
okay, thank a lot
Okay.
for answering my question. Thanks.
You're so welcome. So Maya, we still have a couple of questions. Do you have time to answer them?
Problem.
No problem. So I guess Sarah Sabah, if you have a question, please. Sarah Sabah. Sarah, you raised your hand.
Yeah, you have to unmute yourself. Sometimes they forget that they are muted.
I don't know. Waria, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yeah, can you please unmute
Yeah, she just
Sarah Sabah? She raised her hand. She has a
I'm going to
question.
take it out. Okay. Hello. Can you hear us, please, Sarah?
she just wrote on the chat that her
She's
microphone does not work.
muted. She's still muted.
Okay. You can take someone else, please. I think two people raised their hand.
Gulan Muhammad, who has already participated, has probably another question. So go ahead, please.
Okay. Again, regarding the course choice essay, is that okay if I write a sentence or two sentences mentioning the other universities? Because last year when I wrote down the essay, I mentioned everything about all the three essays, and I got selected for Chevening, of course, but I didn't get unconditional offer. And for that reason, I just want to make the reading community, to know that I checked and I had a very strong research on all the three universities that I chose. Is that okay if I mention it in introduction or maybe in conclusion that this course that I chose and it's the same in all the three universities and it's really aligned with my career plan?
Yeah, you can mention at the end as a conclusion that all of those universities that you're going to nominate for the Chevening are in the same direction, and it's helpful for your career plan. But I think it's better to be focusing about only the one university, because 300
no, just in a simple sentence. For example, these three universities.
If it makes sense and you think that it's make your application valuable or more authentic, yeah, go for it. But do not make a less word what is more important for you. So because I tried to write 300 words in each essay, and I'm realizing that it's very hard to even just mentioning that I'm going to study X, Y, and that university. So yeah, I mean, if your skill is that higher, or your limits and word did not, or to give you opportunity to express yourself this way, yeah, I mean, I fully understand that. But in my cases, when I tried, it was very hard. So
of course, it's hard, but I'm not going to mention the name of the university because already I mentioned it in the application. I just want to write a simple sentence that these three universities that I chose is blah, blah, blah.
That's absolutely valid. Yeah. Why not?
Okay, I got it. Thank you so much.
Conclusion.
Yeah. If you hear me, but one of the points that you need to cover to write your choice courses and a global challenge, they are asking you, why have you selected your particular university in the UK? So you need to talk about the university that you have picked.
I get it.
Okay, so if you have an application, go to the portal and you're going to see 5 questions that you need to answer in your essay, and the course choice and a global challenge. Okay.
Okay, I
And
got it. Thanks.
yeah, and another thing, I've always heard that from former Cheveners and former applicants. Use your own way. Yes, there is many things that you need to cover. Yes, there is many questions that you need to answer, but it's your essay, it's your plan, it's your creativity. So feel free to do maybe something different.
Absolutely agree. Yeah, again, I completely agree. And this is a very important point that every one of you have to remember, that there is not right or wrong answer in Chevening.
Yeah.
Everyone has their really own experience, and even for 500 words, some applicants that who has been chosen in the same year that I was has written only one example, but in my cases I have written two. So again, there is not any good or bad example, but of course there is some rules that we are sharing that we
Yeah,
all.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like you need to use the STAR approach. You need to answer the questions they are asking you in the portal. But feel free to do, to do something maybe different. I don't know, depending on you and depending on your own way of writing. Okay. So thanks for your questions. And here we have Sarah Sabah.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry, apologize for the previous error.
It's okay.
First, thank you so much for all these information. Uh, I just want to ask about UK, a priority area, please.
And
What is your question specifically? Like if you
Okay,
want to know what are the priorities, you can simply Google that.
yes, because I was so confused, and like I said before, I am a dentist, and I am like applying for the dental public health course, which is like part of the health sector. But I couldn't find like anything related to it. Like I need to check if it's like suitable. Does it lay under the UK a priority area? Could you help me with that, please? I would like appreciate it. Thank you so
Uh,
much.
Maya, please, would you let me speak before you?
for sure, go ahead.
So obviously, the Chevening came this year with the new ideas. For me, they are not new, but they have become a little bit more vocal about the new challenges, about the new priorities, about the development, the climate change, prosperity, growth. Actually, even peace, the word peace, security, stability, and all of these things. So it's not about the Chevening itself, it's about your course of choice, which means go to the courses, look for them, and try to find something related to the UK priorities, like something related not only to you being a dentist, but also related to the development, related to an issue in your society. And also, you have to relate your career plans to the UK priorities and to the global challenges and the issues in your community, in your specialty, in your country, and the next future, especially if this was kind of common thing between like the UK and Iraq, the UK and Georgia, the UK and Jordan, the UK and Syria. I always say, and Maya, I know that you are totally, you agree with me.
Yeah, I do.
Before becoming a Chevener, you need to be a researcher, which means you need to search a lot. Thank God we have Google, we have ChatGPT, we have AI tools. Use them for searching, use them for the information. The Chevening official website is so rich of information that you need to. Okay, so how can you become a Chevener and you cannot relate your specialty and your courses to the UK priority and to global challenges?
Oh, okay. I get it. Thank you so much for helping. Thank you.
Do your search. And Maya, if you have something else to add, please go ahead.
I just completely agree, as the UK people saying 110% agree what you just mentioned. Wanted to mention one specific up that like it was not written before as a question, or they did not specifically saying on the website before this year, but it was always like that. We mentioned in the studying, or like why we want to study in the UK or the career plan, about the priorities. Like I remember that I have checked what was common between UK and the Georgia, and how can I align these after Chevening or in my career plan. So for instance, in the education, I mentioned that British Council that are in Georgia, we will do some, like they are doing some training for the inclusive education. So in the short-term career plan was connecting to these UK priorities, because it did not mention on the website, but it was my way to complete it, this essay. So yeah, it's not new, like, but what you mentioned was 100% like sure, no comment or adding any more information about it.
Great, great. So I think that Gulan Muhammad has another question.
No, sorry,
Gulan.
this time I just forgot to lower my hand.
So do you have a question or not?
No, I don't have. Thank you.
Okay. Is there another one who has a question? Please raise your hand. Well, I think at this point, I'm going to ask my question to you, Maya, because I am an applicant. This is my second time.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. So did the British Embassy contact your referees?
Yes, they did.
Really?
One of my referees, because another one was on the holiday during that time, but they only contact one of my referees. Yes.
Okay. So
As mentioned, it was very basic question. They asked the confirmation of the validation of his reference, and they asked some detail what he mentioned, because he was my lecturer and master dissertation leader, and they asked like what was my topic and that I was working. And he mentioned, so they said we don't have more questions. It was only three or four, like three questions, I think. Like first was who they are, how they know me, and the like specific, because he mentioned in the reference letter that we were together working on this particular topic. So they asked the name of my present, like the master thesis. So that was all. And
okay. So it was like a brief calling.
yeah, it was.
Okay. So a question that I can't really understand fully is public accounts make your application stronger? Do you mean like your social media accounts? If you have any social media accounts, will it make your applications stronger?
I do not think so. I mean, I have very private social media during that time, and I've been selected. I have not remembered that they have mentioned anything like that to be your social media public. I know you have to put the links on the application, but it's not, I don't think so. Like, yeah, appropriate. It's not appropriate.
It's not. Okay, another question is if someone didn't make a place in the final interview in 25, 20, 24, 25 patch, I don't know what you mean by saying patch. What are you recommending that she will go with the old story examples, go with the new ones? Okay, I think I get it. And I think I can answer this because one of the former Cheveners told me about this experience. So obviously you are supposed to talk about and like elaborate more about your examples, talk about the behind the scenes details of your examples in the essays. Okay, so you need to go to the details of your essays and the examples. But if you come with the new ones, if you have a new ones, and if you come with them and you want to talk about new things that you haven't mentioned in the essays, it might be also true depending on what you are bringing this time. Because I know two former applicants, one of them talked about nothing but the same examples she mentioned in her essays, and the other one totally talked about new examples and nothing related to her old examples and the essays, and both of them were accepted. So I think it doesn't really depend on talking about the new examples or the old examples in my essays. It's about what kind of examples they are going to ask you to talk about. And I hope that this answer explains everything.
I just want to add that, like, look at this from the corner, that like it's a competition and you're competing this from globally like 78,000 people, and you have to put on the table your best version or best example or best experience that you have. So does not matter if you have written it before or not. Like, again, yeah, as Russell has mentioned, that yeah, just be yourself, authentic, and does not matter if you will repeat yourself from the previous application process.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'm gonna ask another question, because as you said while talking about the essays, that not a lot have been changed about writing your leadership experience. For me, I think it is different because this time we're not really supposed to define leadership. We are, I guess, only because it's a 300 words, I guess you are not really allowed to start an intro, like a really attractive intro, because I've been struggling with my introduction, and it's like it's taking at least 50 words. And this is like quite a lot. There are 5 questions that you need to cover: the context or challenge you face, the specific actions that you take as a leader. Yes, it's going to be one example, but you need to cover 5 points. The outcomes, I guess the outcomes is not going to be only 1 point. You need to write probably at least 50 words maybe. And what did you learn? And another thing that I couldn't really recognize, and I couldn't really recognize yet between learning and how has this experience shaped your approach to leadership? What if it didn't change me? So I have to look for something that thing changed and shaped the new approach of leadership to me. So it was like it's about thinking, it's about being a brief, yet at the same time very specified, determined. And for at some point, I felt like my entire essay looks like bullet points put together.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just because I was trying so hard to shortcut words, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because I tried to write these 300 words because like I can't tell people you can do it if I can't do it, like, and if it's impossible for me, like I can't show them that, yeah, go ahead, you can.
But the thing that I want to mention is that the points that we need to cover this time, they're different from the previous ones. I applied in 2023.
Yeah.
Okay. They were like 500 words, and you have to talk about your concept of leadership. You have to start with a very attractive and captivating intro. You have to you have to also mention how Chevening is going to benefit you with your leadership skills. And this is not really mentioned this time.
Yes.
Okay. So think differently. That's what I'm going to say. Think differently about how to answer all of these questions and cover all of these points in only 300 words.
So, like, during the first time that I applied, in the 500 times when there was a 500 words.
When you were lucky. Yeah.
So when I've been selected, during that time, a first example that I have written was connecting to the second one. I know that you can't do right now, but in the second example, I mentioned what I learned from the first example and how it does affect. So at some point, I did not know they would change the application or whatever, but I wrote about learning because it was something that has very bad impact, but I still mentioned because in the second example that I showed them, I said like it was experience that showed me that I don't have to repeat this kind of example. So for me, when I read about learning, I was like, yeah, that was in my time as well. But I know what you mean because not like every example or everyone's application was like that. And for sure, I understand the struggle. But I could say that, like, have you tried star plus L using the application, like writing method? Because there is no intro time for this time. I agree.
Yeah. I can't write an intro, to be
Yeah.
honest. You're
Yeah.
gonna have to get into it. Remember that you have to mention probably names, places, years, numbers, statics. You may upload links if you have
Yeah.
something related to the idea that you are presenting. So how come that all of these things have to be in a 300 way? So be careful. You
Yeah.
have to
Yeah, it's like
to be
very,
clever.
I agree, very narrow and very hard, getting hard, not lying. But I think, have you checked that my Instagram, what I wrote as an example?
This is one of the questions that we received from the participants. They are telling us to drop your accounts in the chat.
Okay, I'll try
Okay.
now. And yeah, because I try my best. I'm not saying that it's ideal example, but at least it's gonna be a guide
It's going to be a guide and an inspiration for a lot of applicants.
for applicants who are struggling what to focusing on. So I think I've done. Please confirm if it's a appropriate link because I use my phone. And yeah, I mean, just do not write a lot about in the S part, like as a situation. Focus more about like your skills or as a leader, because it's gonna be connecting with learning, what you learn as a leader, but which skills you use. It's
Exactly. You have to show them. You have to show them, not
Yeah.
telling them all of the positions that you have taken so far regarding the leadership. You have to show them. You have to explain. You have to evaporate. It's not about I did that and I've done this.
true. I agree.
Yeah.
Because in the most essays that I have read was like I was a leader of this project, and like it was very
Without explaining what you have done so
oh,
far to this project and how you became the leader of this project in the first place.
yeah. So yeah, I know it's hard, guys, but yeah, may Allah help you to be in a better position next year.
Inshallah. By God willing. Okay, so thank you so much, Maya, for your time. Thank you so much
Before you go, I have a lot of last question, if you don't mind, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, people who have been shortlisted, like me, okay, I have been shortlisted twice in a row, actually. So I haven't decided yet to apply again. However, in case I apply, how can I navigate, let's say, my information I've applied for?
Your information, what do you
Yeah,
mean?
how can I manage the information, the application, the essays I've applied before?
Like, how can you reduce the words, or what exactly?
Yes,
Probably
regarding
he's talking about
the ideas. Should I apply again the same ideas, the same university, the same words, the same sentences, phrases, and so on?
Well, I could.
I haven't applied. I haven't decided yet to apply again. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, short answer is just stay authentic, because as you have been already a couple of times shortlisted candidate, you know what's the catch in your leadership or in you as a leader, and I'm more than sure that you know why they have chosen you. There is some gap in your field, in your country, and there is a valuable experience that you have. So just again, it's a competition. You have to present yourself, like show them or give them on the table your best version of you. So yeah, I do not know what you have written to say, for instance, choose this or not. But like trust yourself and trust the process. It's main key. And I do believe that I always saying like, people always debate with me like, how do you now keep applying is the key, and because they are arguing like, you have chosen for the first time, so how do you convince us to start applying and reapplying? I know it's hard, and sometimes you don't have hope, or like you're very disappointed of the process. Well, like it's a journey. It's itself from the beginning of the application. It's a journey, and you have to trust yourself. And I'm more than sure you have learned a lot about yourself while you applying for Chevening, because this question is a lifelong question that sometimes, because of the busyness of the like what's going on in the world or in our life, we never asked ourselves this kind of question. And it's gonna be very important maybe for you as a leader of knowing you as from this corner, you know, like the question will help you a lot to grow. So wish you good luck, everyone. And it was very pleasure to be here today, and thank you again, Breaking Boundaries, that you guys always trying to help the applicants or doing some kind of events. And I'm checking your social media quite often, and I'm very happy that you are like trying to spread the knowledge around the Iraq.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
The recording of this session, Waria, is going to be available on YouTube on Breaking Boundaries channel, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for your time, platform, for inviting Maya, who has been incredibly amazing, giving us all of the incredible information.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thanks a lot to the applicants who were with us. It's been almost 1 hour and a half. We could have go further than that, but we don't want you to get busy with us, okay?
Yeah, actually in Georgia right now it's almost like 12:30, so
it's 11:30 here in Iraq. So thank you so much.
Okay.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to be with you guys, and anytime you will have any question, I'm very much available on my Instagram page, and I use it. Like I'm not very active on Facebook, but on the Instagram I can answer your question anytime, and feel free. Thank you, and have a good night. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.